Shalawam, Apostle Tahar coming back at you with this truth. I'm on the road, so this is a GMS in transit. And I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind, whatever scriptures come to my mind. Anyway, I want to talk about this individual, President Donald J. Trump, who I call King Donald J. Trump. I believe that he would have to be the last president in this here system. I don't see this man going to the year 2020 to have another election in this place, in this system. Because it's not even, oh, by the way, today's date is April 12, 2017, and it's not even been 100 days of Donald Trump being in office. And I mean, this man done conjured up more controversies than 3 and 4 presidents in their you know, whether it's 4 years or 8 years in their presidencies. I mean, this man's middle name should be controversy. If you've been watching the news, you know, he had this guy, Sean, was it Sean Spencer or Spicer? Spencer, I believe it is. He's the, you know, he's the news correspondent for the White House for the Trump administration. And he made a statement the other day that what Assad did, the president of Syria, was something that even Hitler didn't do, using chemical agents on civilians. Well, when you go back to history, Hitler did use chemical agents. One agent he used was a Cyclone B. So now they're talking about, you know, he shouldn't be the news correspondent for the White House. Then you have Steve Brennan, which all of a sudden Trump, you know, kind of pushed him to the side. And they're talking about getting rid of him. And what I heard was he criticized the fact that Trump wanted to strike Syria. So I guess if you're a part of the cabinet or the administration of Donald Trump, you better, you know, kiss a lot of ass and be a yes man. And pretty much the closest people to him is his family. I'm talking about his daughter and his son-in-law, and they have positions in the Bush administration. I mean, the Trump administration. You know, he's promised that he was going to gather up all the so-called illegal aliens, you know, mainly from Mexico, and he was going to take them and deport them back to Mexico or whatever Latin American country that they belong in. But he's also doing it among the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Levi. If you're here illegally and they catch your ass, they're going to ship you back to Jamaica or whatever island that you were born in, and even Haiti. But they're not pushing that too much in the news. And there was a story I heard where they had a woman. Oh, another thing that they're doing is if they catch illegal aliens and their children, what they do is they put them in a detention center and separate the children from the parents, which is cruel. So this devil, you know, Trump is showing his horns. He's showing that he's nothing but another devil, and showing his horns, man. And this is the fulfillment of Revelation 12, verse 12. I mean, you can start from 10, but the 12th verse, it speaks about he shall come down with great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So the super elite among Esau, the Edomites, they know the prophecies. They have certain biblical scholars and archaeologists and historians. They'll read the scriptures and they'll go to wherever place that's mentioned in the scriptures and go and dig it up, excavate whatever area that's mentioned in the Bible to confirm and verify that yes, there was a man by the name of King David. There was a man by the name of King Saul. There was a man by the name of Moses. There was Aaron. There was Joshua. There were the prophets. And yes, they do have evidence that Yahweh Shai was on the scene as well. And that's pursuant to Jeremiah the 8th chapter, starting from the 1st verse. Because Esau doesn't do things based upon faith. He does things based upon facts, based upon evidence. So he definitely knows that the children of Israel are an actual people. And he definitely knows that the children of Israel were people of color, people of brown skin, light skin to dark brown skin. And he knows that they're that we are the descendants, the so-called Negro, Haitian, Dominican, so-called, the various Latin tribes of the Indian tribes of North, Central, and South America. He knows, in Canada, he knows that we are in fact the Israelites. So what he's trying to do, as we said before, he's trying to upset the prophecies. But the prophecies, you can't upset the prophecies. You can't turn this thing around. You can't make it go your way. Or another thing in the news, which is maybe not too long ago, you had a meeting with the head of NATO, which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and Donald J. Trump. So, I took that to mean that there's going to be there's going to be a major war that's going to take place, which we know that's the War of Armageddon. Because you got the NATO and the EU that are really, that represents that beast, as we have taught before. And the United States is part of that beast. The United States is a member of NATO, which is the EU. Which is NATO. But when you think about NATO, you have to also think about EU. NATO is the military branch of the beast, and the EU is, I would say, more of the political and economic branch of the EU. And when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter, 15 verse on down, it speaks about the beast, which is NATO and the EU, causing both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. And we all know what the mark is. The mark translates from the Greek charagma, which means something that you implant, you embed or you implant inside of someone. Then it goes on in 17th verse, and it says, and no man may buy or sell except he that hath the mark, meaning men, women, and children. So we're definitely at the end of this man's system. When you go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, you read about the 10 toes. That represents also NATO and the EU. Now, if you heard the news about Brexit, which is the British exiting the EU, well, that's fulfilling prophecy. How the toes will become broken up, partly strong and partly weak. So they're trying to do everything in their power to keep Britain, or Great Britain, a part of the EU. But the EU, or the 10 toes, they're in the midst of falling, because this is the end of this man's system. The Most High says in Job, what is that, Job 14:5, the Most High appointed his time that he cannot go past. You know, there's a time and season for all things. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. You know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're definitely at the end of this man's rulership. And it's, you know, up to you to keep your eyes on the news. That's when you turn on the TV, when you turn on your flat screen, you know, that's the first thing you're supposed to go to is the news, man. If you go to work in your car, you're supposed to put it on the news. And it's, we're in the time of watching, man, watching for these prophecies. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalawam. Stay strong.